Hello beautiful family. I've decided to make this spontaneous video before I go out. I have an appointment with my 4-year-old son to go and get his birthday present. He very much wants a rocket and it's his birthday soon, so we're heading off to do that. This is the other side of my life that you don't see enough of. And this video is about authenticity, about my authenticity, and trying to navigate that, trying to find that with you. Recently I visited the UK, and whilst visiting the UK, my parents unfortunately became ill, and they had all of the symptoms of this virus which has plagued our human story for the last few years and has all but reset our economy, and will, no doubt, unfortunately. And subsequently we all started to develop those symptoms as well. So here in Germany we were unwell. Some of you know this from the Facebook, and for the record, I'm not vaccinated, and I took this parasitic medication, ivermectin. Not that I'm recommending you do, but I read the studies, the impartial studies, and the science made sense. I recovered, we all did, reasonably quickly, faster than our family who are vaccinated and boosted in fact, but it leaves some residual mugginess with you, for want of a better word. It leaves you with a lot of brain fog, and it takes you away from presence, takes you away from your center. This, whatever you want to call this COVID, this collection of symptoms that people get, it feels nothing like a cold or a flu if you've had it. And this is the second confirmed time that I've had it. The after effect is totally different. It feels really nothing. It's totally different to any other infectious illness I've ever had. It just feels toxic, chemically. It just feels strange. And so this was going on, but I didn't communicate it on this channel. And for the last weeks I've had this arising and been having discussions with those closest to me about my authenticity here on this channel. And I thought I would try to pull back with this short video and say, I need to do something about that. Because the reality of the situation is, yes, presence and the presence of God has steered, guided, and spontaneously made my life erupt in a way that I never thought it would. I didn't plan to build a children's village. I stayed in presence, and I was led there by what I perceived to be the voice of God. Not necessarily audible, but this arising of guidance, a very loud voice in intuitive, synchronistic dreams, etc. And so there was no intention for me to build that village. That desire was placed in me by remaining in presence. And this is why I speak so much about presence. This is why I try to guide people to presence, because that presence has changed my life. That presence has brought me joy, happiness. It's filled me with love to the degree that I want to share that love in the world. And it's also led me and guided me to a higher good with my life. I didn't plan from the story of a person inside my mind, from that element of us, to do this. Presence led me there, and the story manifest from that. The story was spontaneously arising from being in presence, surrendered to presence. But also arising spontaneously in that story is that I am a father, I am the CEO of this charity. I have started, due to presence having it arise from consciousness around me, the platform that I'm building. But throughout all of that, I've also got health challenges, and these health challenges are very real. Presence allows me to not suffer mentally with them. Presence will take away sickness to the degree of anxiety and depression, things of this nature. Presence takes that away because it fills you with the joy. But when it comes to my physical ailments, Joseph Campbell said in The Hero's Journey that there is a dragon in everyone's story. And I feel everything I have learned, everything I have experienced, everything I've picked up and stored as records and memories as this human talking to you, that in presence I was guided, that same voice that guided me to build the children's village has guided me persistently to say, if you apply everything that you've learned, you will recover from this health challenge. And yet I haven't applied it. And yet whenever there is an emergency with the charity or the kids, I'm doing it. And so I reflect upon this. Is there some element of a lack of self-love, etc., to be explored? And this needs to be explored by myself, and no doubt will be with you guys. And so to pull it down to where I am as a human being right now, in all authenticness, I know how to walk people to presence, I feel, and I have had good responses from people feeling great relief and joy and happiness and healing from that. And I know how to access that myself. Not only do I know how to access this, but it has led me. It has guided me to build and do things in the world, and it has also guided me to the opportunity to build something new. This platform, I believe, can change the world in profound ways. Connecting content creators with charities to build a better world is a profoundly powerful movement that I am going to play a role in. And yet I am currently facing this dragon of my health, and I am trying to do the platform, I'm trying to do the charity, and I am not addressing fully the dragon, the health element. I'm stepping over it, and I'm trying to do it from the position of a broken body. And this feels inauthentic, because the arising of the story of who I am, not the story I'm telling myself, but the story born from that presence state of consciousness, incorporates that I've become unwell, and it's still an element. I'm still disabled by this illness, and that means that it's affecting the other things that I am brought in presence to do. So the Create to Share platform is delayed because of my health, and my health is delayed because of my what's that answer? I don't know. My lack of self-love, my arrogance of trying to step over self-love and self-care to do that. Because the same passion and vibrance and energy that I put into building the village and the charity, I don't have it for building this platform, because I physically have ailments. And I have sheltered, hidden from this channel that element of my journey, but it's part of the journey. It's part of this story as a human I am that's arisen from entering that state of consciousness. And so I must start, I feel, to be authentic, to be real, communicating that with you all. I must. And so yes, I can bring people to presence. That remains, and I will still speak on this. But there's also a story of my life that's arising from that awareness, from that connection to that state of consciousness and the presence and the voice of God. And that story you're not seeing. And it's full of struggles and strains and the craziness of life. I am a father to 2 small boys. I am trying to get this platform up and going. I am a CEO of a charity that's quite large. And this has all arisen from the practice that I am trying to express on the channel. And yet I'm neglecting, in the most part by now, to tell you about the life that arose from that. And I feel inauthentic due to it. And having this period of feeling almost distance from presence due to the effect that this little period of illness has just had on me, has made me reflect. Why didn't I communicate this to the channel? And where is my authenticity as a human being trying to share their journey if I don't share these things, if I don't express these things here? And so I'm pulling back to my truth. I'm pulling back to the story of my life that has arisen from this state of consciousness that I call presence or surrender or the rebirth. And I must start speaking of that, because in that presence, that voice that led me to build that village and led me blindly to that part of the world when all this wonderful stuff happened, has told me, you apply everything you've learned and you will recover. And I haven't done it. How crazy is that? And why is that? And I must get to the bottom of that, and I want to get to the bottom of that with you and put my money where my mouth is. Because if I am to share all of this and speak of all of this, then I must put myself out in that vulnerable state and say, this is what I have used in the past, and I'm going to apply it again to build from now the future that's required, because you can't control the future, you can only control now. And yet here I am neglecting this dragon, as the Joseph Campbell's hero journey would call it, where everything I required, all the tools I've learned, must be applied to overcome this. And I'm neglecting it and trying to ignore it to try and build from the state of the brokenness of the damaged health. And in doing that, I am postponing the manifestations that the voice of presence and how I perceive it, the will of unconditioned love, has laid at my feet. Because I'm arrogantly trying to miss a step. I'm trying to make that manifest before I have given that love I'm trying to give to the world to myself to recover correctly. And here's this juggle going on again. And so I try to find now my authenticity, is what I'm trying to say here. And this little period of illness and feeling after it, if you've had it, you just feel so off-center, has alerted me. What does that tell me about what I'm sharing with the world on this channel if I didn't even speak about that? And it's playing and struggle, it's causing a struggle in my day as I make videos. So I pull back to the authentic. Presence has given birth to a spontaneous story that I did not expect from the life that I'm living, of this charity, of this platform, my family, it could be included in there, but also my health. And I am unable somehow to apply everything I've learned to my health, and I believe it's something to do with self-love. I don't know, I need to find out. And so here I am being vulnerable and trying my level best to speak authentically from my heart, to say here's where I am as a human being, and here's my intention going forward, to apply it all, to bring about the changes in my health and this rigidness and stuckness I feel around it. That was all. God bless, guys. Be well, be happy, be mindful. I'm off to go and find a rocket with my 4-year-old son. Should be fun.